Bill Gates is a businessman, entrepreneur, and philanthropist from the United States. He is a co-founder of Microsoft Corporation, the American computer corporation responsible for some of the most significant inventions in the history and development of modern computers. The Internet, including products such as Microsoft Windows, Office, and Internet Explorer. Early life. Bill Gates was born on October 28, 1955 in Seattle, Washington. He is the son of William H. Gates Sr. (1925 to 2020) and Mary Maxwell Gates, 1929 to 1994. His ancestors are English, German, and Irish/Scots-Irish. His father was a distinguished lawyer, while his mother served on the boards of directors for First Interstate Bank System and the United Way of America. J.W. Maxwell, the president of a large bank, was Gates' maternal grandfather. Gates has an elder sister, Christiane, and a younger sister, Libby. He is the fourth of his name in his family, but he is known as William Gates III or Three, i.e., three, because his father had the two suffix. The family resided in the Sandpoint neighborhood of Seattle in a house that was devastated by a rare tornado when Gates was 7 years old. Gates saw early in his youth that his parents encouraged him to pursue a legal profession. His family used to attend Congregational Christian churches, a Protestant Reformed denomination, on a regular basis when he was a child. Gates was teased as a youngster because he was undersized for his age. One tourist stated that it didn't matter whether it was hearts or pickleball or swimming to the dock. There was always a reward for winning and there was always a penalty for losing. When he was 13 years old, he joined in the exclusive Lakeside Prep School, where he created his first computer program. The Lakeside School Mothers Club purchased a Teletype Model 33 ASR terminal. A block of computer time for the children when he was in the 8th grade with money from the school's rummage sale. Gates developed an interest in using BASIC to program the GE system, and his math lessons were excused to allow him to do so. On this machine, he created his first computer program, a tic-tac-toe version that let people compete against the system. The machine's ability to execute software code flawlessly every time attracted Gates. Meeting and partnering with Paul Allen. Paul Allen and Steve Gates met in high school at Lakeside School and became fast friends. Despite their differences, they spent much of their free time together working on programs. At one point, they had their school computer privileges revoked for taking advantage of software glitches. After their probation, they were allowed back in the computer lab when they offered to debug the program. In 1970, they developed Trafo Data, a computer program that monitored traffic. They netted $20,000 for their efforts, but Gates' parents wanted him to finish school and go on to college. Allen went to Washington State University, while Gates went to Harvard, though the pair stayed in touch. Allen and Gates were two young individuals who were enthralled by the possibilities of the Altair 8800 mini computer kit. They contacted Micro Instrumentation and Telemetry Systems, MITS, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and built a basic software program to run the Altair computer. Allen was employed at MITS, and Gates quickly left Harvard to work with him. Allen stayed at Microsoft until 1983, when he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's illness and quit. There are several theories as to why Allen quit Microsoft, but many believe it was a life-changing event for him and that he saw other options to put his time in. Founding Microsoft. In 1975, Gates and Allen founded Microsoft, a combination of the terms microcomputer and software. The initial product of the firm was basic software for the Altair computer. However, Microsoft's BASIC program was popular among computer enthusiasts, who freely reproduced and distributed it. In February 1976, Gates addressed an open letter to computer hobbyists, warning that continuous distribution usage of software without paying for it would discourage developers from investing time and money in building excellent software. Gates had a fractious relationship with MIT's president Ed Roberts, which frequently resulted in shouting bouts. In 1977, Roberts sold MITS to another computer business, and the team had to litigate the new owner to keep the software rights they had produced for Altair. Microsoft created software in several forms for other computer businesses, and Gates relocated the company's operations to Bellevue, Washington, in early 1979. He assumed leadership of the firm and served as its spokesperson. He personally evaluated every piece of code the firm released, even rewriting code himself when deemed necessary. Microsoft's software for IBM PCs. Bill Gates was constantly on the road promoting the benefits of Microsoft's software programs, frequently accompanied by his mother. In November 1980, IBM approached Microsoft about developing software for their future personal computer, PC. Gates rapidly won over IBM, persuading them that he and his business could match their requirements. However, because Microsoft had not developed the basic operating system that would run IBM's new computers, Gates purchased an operating system developed to run on computers similar to IBM's PC. It struck a deal with the software's developer, making Microsoft the exclusive licensing agent and, eventually, full owner of the software. Later, the business sued Microsoft and Gates for withholding critical information. Microsoft reached an out-of-court settlement for an undisclosed sum, but neither Gates nor Microsoft admitted any wrongdoing. Gates had to modify the newly bought software for the IBM PC and deliver it for $50,000. IBM wanted to purchase the source code, but Gates suggested that they pay a licensing charge for copies of the software that came with their computers. Between 1979 and 1981, Microsoft's employees increased from 25 to 128, and income increased from $2.5 million to $16 million. Gates and Allen formed Microsoft in mid-1981, and Gates was named president and chairman of the board. By 1983, Microsoft had gone worldwide, with headquarters in the United Kingdom and Japan, and its software was running on an estimated 30% of the world's computers. A competitive reputation. Gates was a successful executive at Microsoft who was always keeping an eye on the competitors. In order to analyze each business action, he established a competitive attitude and a profile of all plausible scenarios. He pushed workers and their ideas to keep the creative process moving, and his combative management style became renowned. As he was always assessing whether others around him agreed with his ideas, this was a test of the employee's rigor and love for his business. Microsoft Office and anti-competition lawsuits. Bill Gates, the CEO of Microsoft, was a cutthroat rival outside the organization, which sparked the creation of OS/2. In 1989, Microsoft unveiled Microsoft Office, a system that combined Office productivity programs into a single unit. Throughout it all, Gates found creative ways to divert the strain with amusing ads and public appearances at computer trade events. Through the 1990s, he ran the corporation while dealing with government inquiries. Leaving Microsoft. In 2000, Gates stepped away from day-to-day operations at Microsoft, handing up the CEO position to a college buddy, Steve Ballmer, who had worked for the company since 1980. Though he remained chairman of the board, Gates positioned himself as chief software architect in order to focus on what was for him the more passionate element of the business. Gates said in 2006 that he would be leaving Microsoft full-time to spend more time to the foundation. On June 27, 2008, he worked his final full day at Microsoft. Gates resigned as chairman of Microsoft in February 2014 to take on a new role as a technical consultant. Satya Nadella, 46, took over as CEO of Microsoft when Steve Ballmer stepped down. Marriage. Gates married Melinda French on the Hawaiian island of Lanai on January 1, 1994. They met in 1987, shortly after Melinda began working at Microsoft. Melinda gave Gates permission to spend limited time with his ex-girlfriend, businesswoman Anne Wienblad, throughout their marriage. Bill and Melinda have 3 children, Jennifer, Rory, and Phoebe. The family's home is an earth-sheltered palace built into the slope of a hill overlooking Lake Washington near Medina, Washington. Property taxes on the home were reported to be $1.063 million in 2009, on a total assessed value of $147.5 million. The 66,000 square foot, 6,100 square meter estate has a 60-foot, 18-meter swimming pool with an underwater music system. A 2,500 square foot, 230 square meter gym, and a 1,000 square foot, 93 square meter dining room. Divorce. The Gateses announced their divorce on May 3, 2021, after 27 years of marriage and 34 years together. They pledged to continue collaborating on philanthropic projects. According to the Wall Street Journal, Melinda has been talking with divorce lawyers since 2019. Interviews showed that at least one of her worries was related to Bill's connections to Jeffrey Epstein. On August 2, 2021, the divorce became legally binding. Personal wealth. At the age of 31, Gates launched Microsoft's initial public offering, IPO, in March 1986 for $21 a share, making him an overnight millionaire. Gates owned 24.7 million shares, or 45%, of the business at that time, giving him a $234 million stake out of Microsoft's $520 million total. The company's shares saw value growth and many splits throughout time. When the stock price reached $90.75 per share in 1987, Gates became a billionaire. Since that time, Gates has consistently been at the top, or very near the top, of Forbes' yearly list of the top 400 richest Americans. Gates' fortune temporarily reached $101 billion in 1999, when stock prices were at an all-time high and the stock had increased eightfold since its first public offering. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was founded in 1994 with a focus on investing in low-income areas worldwide and advancing global health, education, and community development. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was founded in 2000 when the pair united multiple family foundations and donated $28 billion to it. Gates has been working hard on the foundation's initiatives ever since leaving Microsoft. Gates advocated for charter schools and the adoption of the Common Core standards nationwide for grades K-12 in 2015. The foundation released the first of its yearly Goalkeepers reports in 2017, which examined developments in a number of significant public health-related areas. Gates and Google co-founder Larry Page teamed up to provide $12 million in support of a global flu vaccination in April 2018. Gates said that there may be more to come, despite those doubters who questioned if $12 million would be sufficient to spur any genuine medical discovery. Building a smart city in Arizona. It was discovered in 2017 that one of Gates' companies had contributed $80 million to the creation of a smart city close to Phoenix, Arizona. The hypothetical city, Belmont, will create a forward-thinking community with a communication infrastructure spine that embraces cutting-edge technology, designed around high-speed digital networks, data centers, new manufacturing technologies, distribution models, autonomous vehicles and autonomous logistics hubs, according to the real estate investment firm Belmont Partners. 3,800 acres of the almost 25,000 acres of land allotted for the site are reportedly going to be used for office, commercial, and retail space. 470 more acres will be allocated for public schools, leaving 80,000 residential units available. Awards. Gates has won various honors for his charitable endeavors. Gates was listed as one of the most influential individuals of the 20th century by Time magazine. Along with Bono, the lead singer of the rock band U2, the magazine also picked Bill and Melinda Gates as its 2005 Persons of the Year. Gates has received multiple honorary doctorates from international colleges. In 2005, Queen Elizabeth II bestowed upon him the honorary knighthood of Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire. The Mexican government honored Gates and his wife with the Order of the Aztec Eagle in 2006 for their global charitable efforts in the fields of health and education. The pair received more recognition for their charitable endeavors in 2016 when President Barack Obama announced them as winners of the Presidential Medal of Freedom.